because this one's good. Yes. What is going on? To kind of practice these exams. I didn't have a head in this set. I had a skull.
What is your name?
My name is Seamus Gate.
Where are you from?
I am from Reading, England.
Are you a student?
Yes, I believe I am. I am currently studying medicine, undergraduate at the University of Bristol.
What year are you in?
I've just finished my second year. I've passed my second year and I'm going into my third year. My degree involves the teaching or providing you with fundamental skills and techniques to diagnose and treat illnesses.
Seamus.
Yes.
Do you enjoy your degree?
I'd say I do. Definitely, yeah.
So Seamus, your first year started in 2020 and it ran through to late 2021. This means that your first year took place during the Covid pandemic.
Yes, it did.
How did this affect your first year of university?
Well, it affected it quite a bit. First of all, it was a very strange time to be a student, with the lockdowns going on. All of our big group stuff had just been switched off. All of our placement had been stopped. You know, like people remember the lockdowns. Zoom lessons, Zoom meetings. That was very much it.
What was the main way that, say, you were disadvantaged because of the Covid-19 pandemic?
I think the word disadvantage, it depends who you're comparing me to, because disadvantage is relative. You can only be disadvantaged compared to someone else. Compared to my peers, I guess it was one of the nice bits of the COVID pandemic. We were all in the same boat. Everyone was struggling with the same things. We've all kind of been locked away and told not to come out. But because we're all kind of in it together, we all worked through it. We had very, very different first years compared to sort of what people would describe your conventional university experience being, which is a shame, but in my opinion is all as well that ends well. Overall, I still had what I would regard as an enjoyable first year.
Were there any ways that having your first year take place during the Covid-19 pandemic benefited you?
No. Purely because, you know, whilst there was the odd thing you go, well, that's better, so not dragging myself out of bed to get to 9am lectures, that was nice. But then we didn't have in-person lectures, so whilst, don't get me wrong, no one enjoys getting up early for lectures. However, obviously, you'd rather have the lectures than not have them at all.
In a similar vein, what was the best thing about having your first year take place during the Covid-19 pandemic?
Not having to get out of bed for 9am lectures. No, that was genuinely the best bit. No, 9am. Trust me, 9am. I mean, I'm sorry to offend you. If you were told you don't have to get out of bed to go to a 9am lecture, tell me you wouldn't be chuffed. Come on, there you go. There you go.
Do you feel that academically you learned as much as you could have if there was no Covid-19 pandemic?
No, I don't. Especially bearing in mind we'd had our in-person anatomy session stopped. We'd also had our group sessions moved online, things like our effective consulting, which is how we practice building up rapport with patients. That was all moved to online. You know, it's a lot more difficult to do that over a Zoom call than it is to do it here in person, obviously.
Do you feel that the COVID-19 pandemic impacted maybe the total number of people you had the ability to meet during first year?
Yeah, definitely did. We were kind of stuck's a harsh term, but mostly socialising in our flat. As many people found during the lockdowns, we did end up growing quite close together, especially near the end. However, it was quite limiting because you're at uni, you want to meet as many people as you can.
Have you got any funny stories from the pandemic you could share?
From the pandemic that I can share. Yes. So, what I'll do, I'll send you a picture of this one because this one's good. We were doing, I can't remember, what were we doing? That's it, we were practicing like examinations, and it's really surreal looking back on it. But usually we would just practice on each other, you know, we'd listen to each other's heartbeat. However, due to the fact that we had social distancing and we weren't allowed in person, we got this really funny letter one morning which said that we had to build a human-like mannequin to kind of practice these exams. It was really bad.
Explain the skeleton bit.
So what we had to do, we had the general instructions where we had to stuff a jumper or a hoodie to make the torso and stuff a pair of trousers to make the legs. And we put them together. And then we needed something to mimic a head. Now, we'd also been given these like kind of skeleton sets so we could learn like what different bones look like and just kind of start to understand the structure of the underlying anatomy. And because I didn't have a head, in this set I had a skull. So I thought, you know what, I'll just put that in there. Yeah, that was quite a fun. That was one of those moments. I built it, and then afterwards I went, Seamus, what is going on? You must look like a complete weirdo. Yeah, it was very weird.
You sent us the picture.
Yeah, it was.
Did you name this person?
I think my flatmates did. I didn't.
What did they call it?
Bob the skeleton.
Bob the skeleton. Is there anything you miss about the pandemic?
Nope. Life is better outside of a pandemic, full stop.
What valuable experience or lesson has having a pandemic in the first year of university taught you?
It taught me to push myself to work, because especially when it's just you there on your own in your room, no one there telling you, go on, you've got to get doing this, and you don't have your peers there working as well, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll work because they're working. It was very much you're the only one who's going to hold yourself accountable and you have to work. I became very independent with my work.
What is one piece of advice for future students that are lucky enough to not have had their first year during the COVID pandemic?
Enjoy first year for everything it's worth. I mean, it is, for most people, it's the first time sort of having their independence, you know, having true freedom for the first time ever. And also, I guess I learned you can have it taken away. You don't ever really appreciate it truly until you've had it, because kind of start of second year was our first proper soiree into what life in the normal world was like.
Do you think that it's a good thing that you decided not to defer a year?
Yes. I'm very much let's just crack on with it and get on with it. And, you know, so far, everything's worked out for the good. You know, all is well that ends well. Do I look back and think it could have maybe been a bit better? Maybe. But it's worked out, so I'm relatively content.
How did the Covid-19 pandemic affect you and your friends' mental health in first year?
I was all right. Personally, I've always had a relatively good mental health. However, I know for a fact some of my friends did struggle, and it was quite hard to see, especially during first year and living in lockdown. We tried our best to sort of help each other the best way we can, and that was the important bit.
Seamus Gate.
Yes.
Did you get COVID?
Nope.
Screw you.